Hello, everybody. So nice to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Happy Sunday for those of you that are watching on Sunday. And today I want to give you a little bit of a different message. Title of this message is Becoming Cheonbo. Becoming Cheonbo. So this is our central blessing and responsibility as blessed central families. And it is my deep hope, desire, and vision that it becomes the vision and destiny for not only all of us that are here, but also those that we're witnessing to, those that we are bringing True Mother's love to. Okay, so the young new members that are still preparing for matching and blessing, whether they're first gen, second gen, and on, all of us, let us kind of get excited about becoming Cheonbo. First of all, let us picture a beautiful place. This is actually the south of Italy, the Amalfi Coast, where some of my Italian ancestors come from. But you can picture the most beautiful place. What does the Garden of Eden look like to you? What does the, ideal kingdom look like to you? Mother's really building it in Cheonpyeong, right? But I want you to imagine that this isn't just an idea. This is a world that we're building. This is a destiny for us all to experience, both internally and externally, right? Just like it was for Adam and Eve, there was a blessing, right? Heavenly Parent blessed Adam and Eve with 3 great blessings. Unfortunately, they were not able to achieve them, but this was such an incredible opportunity that was given to them. They were given these 3 great blessings, right? To become a heavenly individual, to build a heavenly family, and to have heavenly stewardship or dominion over the entire universe. This is incredible. So when you think about realm of protection, you can think for the individual is truly anchored when they live within the realm of a heavenly family. The heavenly individual alone is not so protected. You can even look at the life of Jesus Christ. Jesus was certainly a heavenly individual, but without the ability to marry, without being supported by his family to be blessed, he was unfortunately left unprotected, right? So you can see even in Jesus's case, even in someone who attains perfection at the individual level, it's not really until they are married and building their own family that they have a realm of protection for their individual being. At the same time, Adam and Eve, given this second blessing of building a heavenly family, needed also to create a healthy and wonderful living environment for their family, for their community, to build how does a family live as a village, live as a community, live as a people. This would be the foundation for the nation and the world, centering on our heavenly parent. This was the original 3 blessings given to Adam and Eve. And each of these would have protected them and would have offered them the building block to go to the next one and the next one, ultimately to create a foundation for a heavenly world. So let us look from Adam and Eve's viewpoint, where they meet Heavenly Parent. Father says that God's love, which is parental love, is vertical, and the love of man and woman is horizontal. The man and woman's task is to engraft their horizontal love onto the vertical love. That is how the 2 can meet. The 2 loves can join nowhere but at a 90-degree angle, like this, you see? So this was the original place where Adam and Eve's love would meet. Having established a heavenly character, they then meet together in the middle at a 90-degree angle with God's love. When horizontal love connects to the vertical love at the exact 90-degree angle, energy is produced that can spread that love's influence in all directions. Hence, when you enter the realm of love where vertical and horizontal are aligned, you will be able to rule the whole universe through love. That is incredible. You will have a relationship with the whole universe. There, you will not want for knowledge, power, money, or even life. Life also exists eternally within love. So Father is describing this meeting point, this place where vertical love meets horizontal love, centering on heavenly parent, Adam and Eve's love, and meeting God's love at that 90-degree angle, is the generation of atomic power, like superpower. And through this love, you can rule the entire universe and have this kind of relationship where you're not lacking for knowledge or power or money. That means all those things are there to you. Divine inspiration coming to you. Father mentioned how, originally we would have reached technological perfection within 700 years. This is incredible. Still, we're 6,000 years, in fact, over 150,000 human years on this earth, and we're still struggling to have dominion over our technology. Even though maybe you think we have great technology, it's still nothing compared to what it can ultimately become. We shouldn't be worrying about knowledge and power and money. Father says even life itself exists within that eternal love. We won't be worried about life and death matters. All things would be resolved. However, this wasn't what Adam and Eve chose to do, right? Father says, a love that does not fit this, a love that does not meet the vertical standard, will end up drifting around. And such love will eventually perish, right? So what Father is reminding us, look, for those of you that are blessed couples, no matter how much you struggle, no matter how much you fight, no matter how much you sometimes may wonder, why did I do this? Why did I choose this course? Why do I struggle so much? Would it have been better if I went this way? Would it have been better if I went that way? And those of you that are single or second generation, wondering why my parents struggle like this, or should I really choose this way? Is this movement really the place where I can find my happiness? Well, if you're looking for a life of internal struggle and doubt and fear, then definitely, choose another way. But, if you come this way, it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It means that you will join in the great work of our true parents, the historical work of our blessed families around the world, to literally not only fulfill what Adam and Eve failed to do, but also clean up the mess that human history has left behind. But true parents have given us the blessing that allows us to do so. So what Father is reminding us here is that as blessed families, our couples, our families must be anchored in that vertical love relationship with God. And it is our true parents who represent Heavenly Parent substantially for us, making it so much easier for us to quickly, in a short time frame, resolve all historical resentments and mistakes to be able to align our families with Heavenly Parent and true parents at that vertical place, that 90-degree angle. The truth is, though, that it's not easy. Yes, it takes more than 3 years, more than 7 years, maybe more than 100 years. We find that actually it takes several generations to really reach that ideal, perhaps, that we thought might be just at the end of a prayer condition. No. Look how hard true parents had to work, even though their individual heavenly character is not in question. Their couple's love is not in question. Their ability to love and know all things about the universe is not in question. And yet how much they had to struggle and sacrifice, because we're working against the tide of human history. Okay, so we must not give up, never give up. Those of you who sometimes struggle, sometimes doubt yourself, don't doubt God, don't doubt true parents, and keep on going, right? This is what happened to Adam and Eve. They chose not to anchor their love relationship in the vertical relationship with God. Instead, they created another angle of love centered on Satan, okay? And that drew their value down to the deepest of depths. This is so shameful and so painful for Heavenly Parent and ultimately for Adam and Eve. So they chose to anchor their love not on a 90-degree angle, a different angle. And throughout the course of human history, to get to this point in human history, we have struggled to grow. And really, religious history has played a central role in elevating the standard of humankind, especially through the central figures of human history, a certain people through human history, achieving certain levels of sacrifice, paying certain level of indemnity, right? Through deeds, through faith, and through indemnity. right? This is our historical pathway to get to this point. But it is not where we are anymore. We are now in a new era, and you know this, right? Father said, for the first time in history, we are entering into the new age, an age when humanity does not need religious salvation per se. The Family Federation is creating ideal families in order to complete the work of restoration. So there's still some completion of work to do, but it is through the family. So to establish God's ideal of creation and to build the heavenly ideal world. This is what we are building. This is what we are building. The heavenly ideal world, right? True Mother now is working for the heavenly unified Korea, heavenly unified world, the heavenly ideal world. Okay, so what does it mean, this new era? It means that we are in an era of salvation through attendance. We are no longer in an era of salvation through indemnity. But what is attendance? Well, originally our attendance would have been to fulfill the three great blessings. So Adam and Eve were to fulfill the great blessing of heavenly individual, the great blessing of becoming a heavenly family, and fulfill the third great blessing of having heavenly stewardship and dominion. This would have been attendance. This would have been Adam and Eve fulfilling their responsibility. I know it was never taught to you as the three great responsibilities, right? It was taught to us as the three great blessings. But actually, these can also be described as the three great responsibilities. But unlike Adam and Eve, we now live in a fallen world. So for us, attendance is more than just fulfilling the three great blessings, because we live in a fallen world that needs our help. It still needs the work of blessed central families to complete the work of restoration, like our true Father said. So look at what's going on even just recently with COVID-19 breaking out across all parts of the globe, causing great suffering, political confusion, societal confusion, and all kinds of wars and relentless resentments that are never ending, just feuds and fights. You can say good side and bad side, but ultimately we don't want to see this war. We don't want to see bloodshed and suffering. So why? Why is it that we are continually going ever more into this kind of turmoil? Even though our leaders might be trying and people might be fighting for some good cause, those good causes never meet the standard of what God is fighting for, what true parents are fighting for. And even our great leaders that may try to do good, ultimately we have to confess. They don't know how to get humanity any further. They don't know how to really solve the challenges that we face today. This is what Mother's saying. Look, humanity cannot solve the challenges we face today without our heavenly parent. The time has come for all 7.8 billion people of the world to know that we are one family as the children of our heavenly parent. One family. And she's desperate for our world leaders to recognize this, so that true parents can connect every member of the human race back to our heavenly parent. So, in order to do this, we have been given a fourth great blessing. That's right, a fourth great blessing. It is Cheonbo. I hope you can read. This is my personal design of Cheonbo, but this is Cheonbo. So what does attendance look like now? So we still have the first great blessing. We still have the second great blessing. We still have the third great blessing, which means attendance. If we talk about attendance, it should still be the fulfillment of these three great blessings, these three great responsibilities. But we also have Cheonbo, and I describe it as a fourth great blessing because inside it is included all of the three great blessings, but we have to recognize that we have more responsibility than just Adam and Eve, because we have to help true parents clean up the mess that Adam and Eve started. Now, true parents have paid sacrifice at cosmic, world level, family, every level they've sacrificed. And they're only asking us to take responsibility at the tribal level. If we do so at the level of Cheonbo, all other levels can be inherited and restored, along with true parents' foundation. So centering on heavenly parent, if we can fulfill these four things, This is what attendance looks like. And this is now the foundation for the nation and for the heavenly unified world. Do you understand? So, what does it mean in terms of protection? Well, the heavenly individual is protected when they are living within the realm of the heavenly family. But the heavenly family is not protected without heavenly stewardship and Cheonbo. You know, many times we focus on the individual perfection. We don't really talk a lot about how to become a great couple, how to become a great family, even though true parents speak about it profusely. But we must spend more time encouraging one another to create heavenly families. That means we need to be able to confess our struggles. We need support with one another. But we have to remember, actually, that all things can be restored within the realm of Cheonbo. Did you know this? If you can fulfill Cheonbo, then you must recognize that your heavenly individuals and families and all of your businesses, your studies, your school, your mission, everything in the heavenly stewardship realm exists within your Cheonbo. So to fulfill Cheonbo is not just some church mission on the side for people who love to witness. This is our destiny. It's our great blessing and responsibility for all of us. And ultimately, not just to bless families, all people should think to fulfill Cheonbo. This is the foundation for the nation and the world. And automatically, if we fulfill Cheonbo, within our nation, the foundation for our nation and world is automatically secured. That is why True Mother said at the 7th Rally of Hope that it is the blessed families around the world fulfilling their responsibilities, not just blessed families. Mother said those who are fulfilling their responsibilities, who are paving the way for the miracles to occur. So when we look at the great work that Dr. Yoon and IHQ, and look at the great things that are happening in Cambodia with our Prime Minister, but you have to understand that these incredible victories at that high level are occurring because of the great foundations that have been laid by our heavenly tribal messiahs, by people like Dr. Lex Couple and all the other blessed central families that have been committed to fulfilling tribal messiahship. Some of you are doing things that we don't even know about. Maybe it weren't even reported yet. But those are the ingredients of the great victories that you see happening on the world stage. You must understand that. That is why every member, every blessed family must become Cheonbo. Must become Cheonbo. This is the foundation for victory of the world stage. So let us look at it from Father's words. It's not just my words. Father said, your wish as an individual should be to mold your family into one that stands on the side of heaven. After establishing such a family, however, your attitude may become, I have gone through hell and beyond for the matter of the blessing, and I've overcome all of the obstacles, that I have reached my goal now that I am married. Do you understand? So many people may think that just when you receive the blessing, that's it. Like that's the final, I did my formula course, I worked so hard, I sacrificed many things, now I receive the blessing. That's it. I'll go to church sometimes, I'll donate sometime. Hey, maybe I'll even go to a few events. I'm blessed. No, that's not the purpose of the blessing that we've been given. It's not just about, restoring our own personal bloodline. It is about becoming many true parents and multiplying true parents' work in our neighborhood, in our family, for our ancestors, and so on. Do you understand? So if you stop at the realm of heavenly family, if you don't become heavenly stewards, if you don't become a Cheonbo, then your way is blocked. Look at this. This is what Father says. You may then try take a nap and enjoy your life. If you do, Satan will lay siege through the world and the nation and the people and the tribe to engulf you. That means your nation will attack you. Your people will attack you. Your own tribe will attack you. It will engulf you. It will suffocate you. It will limit your ability to even become heavenly stewards. Now, if you look at the reality of our blessed families around the world, I say this is one of the greatest. These words that Father is giving us is one of the most overlooked holy words that has caused us the most problem. Misunderstanding this point. We thought that simply being a good person, and honestly, most of the activities in our movement really just focus on individual development, not enough on blessed family development, honestly speaking. That's why Mother wants the leaders to lead as couples or lead as families. We can't model our whole family dynamic just after one male leader. Look at true parents. They never went anywhere without one another, always there with a couple, not just as a couple, as a family. You have to understand, even though we as blessed families are not perfect, we must strive to influence our neighborhood and strive to lead as families, right? But we're constantly suffocated in challenge. Many of us with financial challenges, or, we don't have enough money even to send the children to great universities, or, this is a common problem. We're giving up everything for the church. We're still acting like we're individual members on formula course. But it's our responsibility to fulfill the 3 great blessings. Actually, it's our responsibility to fulfill the 4 great blessings. And Father warns us here. Years ago, he warned us. If you try take a nap and just enjoy your life at the level of a heavenly family or blessed family, Satan will attack every level of your foundation. Who will attack? Your nation, your people. That means your president, your media, the business people, the people that live down the street, the people that your children go to school with, the teachers, the professors. They will attack you. Even your own family members will accuse you. Even your own ancestors will accuse you. Think about it. This is the reality. Satan can work through all of those levels. So Father says the individual needs a family in order to settle. You see, like this. Thus, we have been struggling to establish families. Fine. But by the same token, a family without a tribe cannot settle. Your tribe should serve as a hedge that protects you and your family from blasts of wind and other adversities. So it was always in Father's mind, home church, tribal messiahship, heavenly tribal messiahship, Cheonbo. This is all one mission that Father was speaking about at the very earliest year, 1971 or earlier. Father was preparing for this. Even before he was speaking about it, he knew about it and was preparing for it. This was the work that true parents always destined to give us. This was the work that even Jesus was to give us. So without creating such a realm that can serve this purpose, you cannot live as a peaceful family. The way to do it is to become the tribal leader of your relatives. That is the objective of the tribal Messiah mission. So you understand, brothers and sisters, Cheonbo is the ultimate destiny for us all. If we try to avoid it, if we try to think that, it doesn't apply to me, surely, like Father warned us, we will face adversities. We will face blasts of wind without protection. So we must become heavenly tribal messiahs. We must become Cheonbo. That means to liberate and bless our ancestors and to liberate and bless our family members and neighbors. To become heavenly influencers. To become people in the village, in the town, in the city, and online. Maybe you have an online influence. The people will connect to Heavenly Parent and true parents through you. This is the tribal Messiah mission. Dr. Yoon recently said that witnessing to 43 couples is not just a church growth system. It is a training program to accomplish the 3 great blessings and 4 realms of heart. What he's saying is, and it was the first time I ever heard that level of leadership say it this way, because I've been saying this for 12 years. Heavenly tribal messiahship is not just a mission. Tribal messiahship is as important for the family as marriage is important for the individual. You're not going to argue that the individual must marry. The same way the family must fulfill HTM. This is our 4th great blessing. Some people might think it's the 3rd blessing realm or 4th blessing realm. I describe it as the 4th blessing realm because there are still specific things within the 3rd blessing realm that we have to accomplish. Okay, including making, prosperous, make money, make success. We need to make money. We need to study all of your skill sets, your missions, your financial foundations, your farms, your homes, your cars, all of these things, your pets even, all of these things live within the realm of your 3rd great blessing. These things all included within Cheonbo. But on top of it, you need to liberate your ancestors and bless them. And you need to educate and bless your tribe. This is not just a church mission. It is our blessing and destiny. Cheonbo is our 4th great blessing and therefore our responsibility. And Father says this very interesting word. Listen to this. If you had done your home church activities, we would not have needed to go through the course of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Everything would have been finished already. This is incredible. You know, Father said this, I believe this was from 1996. To say this, Father must have felt pain, don't you think? I believe that even until now, we didn't really understand the meaning and value and purpose and mission of Family Federation. Many church leaders and church members still live with the Family Federation like it was the Unification Church. But I tell you, Family Federation had a different mission. But even that mission, Father said, wouldn't have been necessary if we had fulfilled our home church long ago. Isn't that interesting? So what this means is the most important thing to do is to fulfill home church, aka HTM, Heavenly Tribal Messiahship, or Cheonbo. So that's what we've been doing in the Cheonbo Challenge, for example. We've been focusing on what can I do to become a better person of greater heavenly character? What can I do to become a better heavenly family? What will I do to take better loving dominion over my environment? And what can I do? What will I do to fulfill my Cheonbo, to liberate and bless my ancestors, to liberate, educate, and bless my tribe? That's what we should be for. If we're not doing this every day, if we're not doing something in these realms every week, every month, every year, then we're gonna make the same mistake Adam and Eve made. Do you understand? This is attendance in the new era. This is salvation. You don't need to go the course of indemnity. We're not in the era of indemnity. Nobody needs or wants you to pay indemnity. We are in the era of salvation through attendance. And how we attend is to consider what are the hopes and dreams of our heavenly parent? What are the hopes and dreams and burdens of our true parents? It is that we fulfill these things. This is the foundation that if every blessed family fulfills this, surely a heavenly unified Korea and a heavenly unified world can come about much more quickly. Yes. So let us fulfill Cheonbo together. Let us support one another to fulfill Cheonbo together. We all have a heavenly garden to create, our own heavenly garden to create. And True Mother is desperate to thank you and welcome you into that garden. Brothers and sisters, all of us are destined to fulfill not only the first, not only the second, not only the third, but now also the fourth great blessing, which is Cheonbo. And True Mother and True Father is longing to welcome you and welcome us all to experience what it is like to build our heavenly Cheonbo garden as blessed families, not just alone, not just the couple, not just the wife or the husband working hard, but together as husband and wife. Together as parents and children, together as parents and children and grandchildren. This is the miracle and blessing of Cheonbo that true parents have given us. But remember, it is our responsibility also. It's a blessing and responsibility. So, brothers and sisters, let us get excited about it and know that in Asia Pacific 1, we are doing it together. So we have, I think, 84 new families inducted into Cheonbo this last October. But this is just the beginning. There's so much more work to do. And so we're doing it together. So please join one another, join together, participate together, and know that each of us must find 43 families, 43 young people, or 43 families that do what? That participate together, that offer their donation together, and that receive True Mother's love together. Okay? This is our blessing and mission. So God bless you all. Have a wonderful day and ask yourself this question. What can I do today to become a better person? What does God want me to do today to give more for the sake of my family? What is God guiding me to do this week for the sake of my stewardship, my studies, my business, my mission? And what is it that I can determine to do today to advance the realm of my Cheonbo today, this week? And so on. Okay, I've mentioned these things before, but I wanted to say again this week. And next week we'll continue with the incredible journey of the Mother of Peace, because in here is everything that we need to share with our tribe. Okay, God bless you, brothers and sisters. Have a wonderful day.